Zeus King, coming at you once again from 8 Points Muay Thai and Fitness in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Today, got to rant a little bit because got in a heated debate, and what I'd like to start off by saying is that my opinion does not necessarily reflect anybody else's at MMAopinion.co.uk. So this is just Zeus King coming at you straight up. So first, next, what I'd like to say, rest in peace to the Ultimate Warrior. No, has nothing to do with mixed martial arts, but passed away at 54. That's way too soon. You know, God bless you, man. You did a lot. You did a lot as an entertainer. Thank you very much. And moving on, Nick Diaz came out today and said that he's not going to fight again unless he gets $500,000 a fight. He's currently getting $200 grand a fight, reportedly. As far as I'm concerned, pay Nick Diaz. People love to see Nick Diaz win or lose. There's no middle ground. People don't look away when Nick Diaz is fighting in the cage because he's got so much attitude. People either love that or they hate it. You see him taunting his opponent, they're like, man, yeah, I want to dog you, and I want to make fun of you. I want you to come at me, man. You're not bringing anything. Hit me, hurt me, beat me. Because if not, he's going to stay there with you. So that kind of a guy can sell fights. He can sell pay-per-views. There's some guys. Josh Barnett's getting almost the same amount of money. He doesn't sell pay-per-views. Nick Diaz sells pay-per-views. Now, that being said, overall, the pay scale in the UFC is far too low. Lorenzo Fertitta, when he did that ESPN video, that interview that Dana refused to do, that they took their own camera crew to make sure that their whole story was told, when they asked Lorenzo about fighter salaries, he defended he was getting what he was paying their fighters by saying, well, you know, guys that show up for your boxing fight, sometimes only you're getting paid $1,200 or, you know, little or nothing on a big night of ESPN fights. Well, that's true. And boxing is something else. You have to deal with a lot of promoters. We're talking about a single promotion, okay? And Lorenzo likened it. He said that their pay was comparable to the 4 major North American sports organizations: NFL, NBA, MLB, and hockey. So what he basically alluded to was that the fighters of the UFC were getting roughly half the money that they're bringing in, which is complete and utter horseshit. Okay? There's no way. If you look at numbers alone, from Chris Weidman versus Anderson Silva 2, that sold just a little bit over 1 million pay-per-views. That's $60 million. The live gate was over $6.2 million. That's nearly $70 million coming in right there. Do you know what the fighters were paid out in total for the night? Less than $2 million. A little over $1.8 million were paid out to the fighters. Okay, there was also the bonuses at $75,000 apiece. Overall, you're looking at guys, they paid out $1 million between Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman. That was $1 million of the 1.8. The rest of the card split 0.8. They brought in $67 million one night. Okay? You've got to reevaluate. Fighters need to speak out. People might say, oh, well, Diaz is lost. Diaz is lost. Nate Diaz was complaining. He's saying he wants more money, that he's being screwed at $60,000 a pop. I agree. I'm not big fans of them. I like that, you know, but I respect the hell out of them, and what they've done, and as long as they've been around, is, you know, a testament to what they should be getting. So another thing to look at is the NFL league minimums for guys in their first few years. It's over $300,000 a year. Okay, $300,000 a year for the first 3 years you're in the NFL. Bare minimum, you're going to get paid that. The guys in the UFC, not. Oh, people say, well, you know, they're paying their dues. They paid their dues to get into the biggest, most important, most famous MMA organization in the world. Okay? You shouldn't be a bum. You shouldn't have to go, man, how am I going to balance all this? Should I take out another mortgage on my house so I can fly to Japan or fly to Rio or fly to wherever the hell else they want me to fight at for $30,000 or $40,000? That's nothing when you come back. After you pay taxes on that, after you get back and you pay your expenses, you pay what you lived on, most guys aren't fighting but twice a year. A 3-fight contract, even at 15 to 18 months to fulfill that with as many fighters as they have. So they've got too many people sharing in this pie, and they're cutting it down. So when you look at what the league minimum guys get in the big major leagues, it's a lot more. It's a whole lot more. They're making the UFC look bad, and they're getting exposed by facts. So I'm not saying they're evil. I'm not saying it's a disgusting thing, and they're there because they've made great business decisions. But now it's time to make your players look like guys who can, you know, everybody should have a $2,000 suit or 5 in their closet that fight in the UFC for pre-press, for post-press fight, for camera interviews. You guys should look like educated, well taken care of, high-class athletes. Okay? Stop treating them like bums. All right? So I'm going to end this by saying, when you come at me with numbers, you come at me and you say that you're comparable to the 4 big sporting organizations in North America, bring it back to me, you know, and now with more revenue coming into the UFC than ever before, with Fight Pass, that's another $10 a month. To get Fox Sports 1 and 2, it costs $10 to $20 more a month. And you know, that's in addition to everything else you're spending. And if you buy every UFC pay-per-view in a year, that's like $720. You're paying like $1,000 to be a fan. Okay, and there's like 2 million subscribers right now to Fight Pass, and that's just, you know, it's just been rolled out for this year. It's only April. It's going to grow. People are going to want to see that the library of fights. I don't know when they're going to have time with so many UFC events, but anyway, you know, more and more money coming into the UFC. It's time to get rid of this, you know, $40,000 a year bullshit they're giving these young fighters. Hey, you made it to the UFC. You know, you should be able to not eat, you know, ketchup and rice in, you know, between fights. So that's all I got for today. We're going to have another video this week. Make sure to check out MMAopinion.co.uk and 8pointsmuaythai.com. Thank you.